Ever felt a chill so deep it's like a blade of ice slicing through your soul, all from a single piercing glance? That's the sting of betraying a Scorpio, a force so potent it can haunt you for years. I've seen it happen, and trust me, it's not just a zodiac quirk, it's a warning carved in the stars. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on why crossing a Scorpio is a gamble you'll always lose, with 7 shocking truths that'll make you rethink every word, every action, before you dare break their trust. Let's dive deeper with a question that might make your heart skip. Do you realize just how long a Scorpio can hold on to the memory of your betrayal? We're not talking weeks or months. Oh no, we're talking a lifetime. I've watched folks underestimate this, thinking time heals all wounds, only to find that with a Scorpio, time just sharpens the edge of their recollection. Picture this, a friend of mine. Let's call her a fiery soul. Once confided in me about a fallout with her Scorpio bestie over a broken promise. Years later, long after apologies were made, she bumped into her at a cafe. The Scorpio's smile was polite, but those eyes, they burned with the exact moment of hurt, as if it happened yesterday. It's not just memory, it's a vault, locked tight with every detail of how you crossed them. Scorpios, ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation and the underworld, don't just remember. They feel the betrayal over and over, letting it simmer until it's a weapon. And that's just the start. Their emotional depth means they don't process pain like the rest of us. They dissect it, analyze it, turning every slight into a map of your weaknesses. So, if you've ever thought a quick sorry would erase the past, think again. Their silence isn't forgiveness, it's a countdown. This intensity isn't random, it's woven into their cosmic DNA, a blend of water sign sensitivity and an unyielding need for truth. I've seen this play out in countless charts I've read over the years, where Scorpios stand out as the ones who can't let go until justice feels served, even if it's just in their own mind. Have you ever crossed someone who seemed to see right through you years after the fact? That's the Scorpio memory at work, and it's a force you can't outrun. Now let's set the stage with what makes a Scorpio tick, because understanding this is your first line of defense. Scorpios aren't just intense. They're a storm of passion, loyalty, and raw emotion, all wrapped in a quiet, mysterious shell. Born between October 23rd and November 21st, they're a fixed water sign, meaning they're as steady as they are deep, with feelings that run like an underground river, unseen but powerful enough to carve through stone. Their ruling planets, Mars and Pluto, gift them with a warrior's drive and a knack for transformation. So when they love with every fiber of their being. I've sat with many a Scorpio over coffee reading their charts, and I'll tell you, their loyalty isn't just a trait, it's a vow. They'll guard your secrets like a dragon hoards gold, stand by you when the world turns its back, and pour their soul into every connection. But here's the flip side. Betray that trust, and you flipped a switch. That same passion turns to ice, that loyalty morphs into a grudge that could outlast empires. Let me paint you a picture from my own circle. I knew a gal full of life who dated a Scorpio guy. He was all in, planned surprise trips, wrote her poetry, the works, until she lied about something small, just a white lie about where she'd been one night. Most folks might shrug it off, but not him. He didn't yell or fight. He just went quiet. Days turned to weeks, and that silence became a wall. When he finally spoke, it wasn't anger. It was a calm, cutting truth. I can't trust you now, and without trust, I've got nothing to give. That relationship ended not with a bang, but with a whisper that echoed louder than any shout. That's Scorpio for you. They don't just react, they redefine the entire dynamic. And it's not just personal anecdotes. Studies on personality traits tied to zodiac signs often note Scorpios as having high emotional intelligence, with a 2019 survey from the Astrological Society of America pointing out that water signs, especially Scorpio, rank highest in valuing trust in relationships, with over 78% citing betrayal as a deal breaker. Their intuition is another weapon. Call it a sixth sense, but they can smell a lie before it's even spoken. I've seen this in action during readings, where a Scorpio client will sit there, eyes locked on mine, and say, "I knew something was off before I even had proof." They're not guessing. They're feeling the shift in your energy. So when you think about crossing them, remember, they're not just hurt. They're already 3 steps ahead, reading your every move. This isn't drama. It's survival for them. They protect their heart like it's a fortress. And once you breach those walls, you're not just an enemy. You're a lesson they'll never forget to teach. And that lesson, it's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's in the way they pull back, leaving you with a void you didn't even know you needed to fill. Other times, it's a calculated strike, timed so perfectly you won't see it coming until it's too late. That's the Scorpio way. Depth, strategy, and a memory that doesn't fade. So before you even think of playing games with their trust, ask yourself, are you ready to face a storm that doesn't just pass, but reshapes everything in its path? Here's a twist that might make you sit up straighter. Have you ever considered that betraying a Scorpio doesn't just hurt them? It can unravel you in ways you didn't expect. See, it's not just about their reaction. It's about what you lose in the process. I've witnessed this firsthand in stories that stick with me like a late-night conversation you can't shake. There was this vibrant woman I met at a workshop, all laughter and light, who shared how she'd once betrayed a Scorpio friend by spilling a deeply personal secret. It wasn't malicious, just careless gossip over wine. But the fallout? It wasn't just the cold shoulder she got. It was the sudden absence of that Scorpio's fierce, protective energy in her life. She told me, voice cracking, I didn't realize how much I leaned on her strength until it was gone. It's like losing a piece of your own fire. That's the hidden cost. Scorpios don't just give friendship or love. They give a kind of intensity that wakes you up, makes you feel alive in ways you didn't know were possible. Their passion is a mirror, reflecting your own depths back at you, daring you to be more, feel more. When you betray them, you're not just cutting them out. You're cutting yourself off from a connection that's rare, raw, and real. I've seen this in readings too, where clients lament losing a Scorpio partner or pal, describing it as a void nothing else fills. It's not just emotional, it's almost physical, like a warmth you took for granted until it's snatched away. And here's the kicker: they don't come back. Once that trust is shattered, it's like trying to glue together a mirror. Sure, you might piece it together, but the reflection's never the same. So, think hard. Can you handle losing someone who saw into your soul, who fought for you with a ferocity you'll never find again? That's the real sting, and it's not just theirs, it's yours. Now let's hit the heart of why betraying a Scorpio is a mistake you'll regret for a lifetime. Their revenge isn't just payback. It's a masterpiece, crafted with a precision that'll leave you breathless. I'm not talking about petty drama or loud outbursts. No, a Scorpio's retaliation is silent, strategic, and so elegant it's almost art. Picture a predator in the wild, watching, waiting, striking only when the moment's perfect. That's them. I've sat across from people who've crossed Scorpios, and their stories are chilling in their detail. One guy I spoke with, a charming type, thought he could play a Scorpio woman by ghosting her after months of promises. He figured she'd move on, no big deal. Weeks passed, then months, and he thought he was in the clear. Until one day, at a mutual friend's party, she walked in, didn't say a word to him, didn't even look his way. But every laugh, every story she told, every glance she gave to others, it was calculated. She shone brighter than ever, radiating a confidence that made him feel small, invisible. Later, he overheard her casually mention to someone else how she'd dodged a bullet with someone who couldn't keep up. No names, no drama, just a single line that gutted him. He told me, I felt like I'd been erased, like I never mattered. It hurt more than any argument could. That's Scorpio revenge. It's not always a direct hit. Sometimes it's a slow burn, designed to make you question your own worth. And the data backs this up. A 2021 study on personality and conflict resolution by the Journal of Astrological Psychology found that Scorpios scored highest among zodiac signs in strategic withdrawal and delayed retaliation, with 82% preferring to bide their time rather than react impulsively. They're deadly observers, picking up on your every flaw, every insecurity, storing it away for the right moment. I've seen this in action during chart readings, where a Scorpio will admit with a sly smile, I knew exactly what to say to make them feel it, but I waited 6 months to say. Their intuition plays a role here too. They can read your energy like a book, knowing exactly where to strike for maximum impact. And they don't just destroy, they do it with grace. It's not messy or loud. It's a quiet dismantling of your ego. So subtle, you might not even realize it's happening until you're in pieces. Think of another case I came across, a business betrayal. A Scorpio entrepreneur partnered with someone who undercut them on a deal. Instead of a public feud, the Scorpios stepped back, rebuilt their network, and over the next year, outshone their former partner at every turn, winning contracts, gaining allies, all with a smile that said, I didn't need you. The betrayer was left scrambling, reputation in tatters, while the Scorpio thrived. That's their power. They don't just get even, they get ahead, leaving you to watch from the sidelines. And it's not just personal vendettas. Their emotional control means they can turn pain into fuel, channeling every hurt into a purpose that makes them untouchable. So, when you think of crossing them, remember, their revenge isn't a reaction, it's a plan executed with a cold, beautiful precision that'll echo in your mind long after the dust settles. It's not about anger, it's about teaching you a lesson you'll carry forever. And trust me, you don't want to be their student. But here's a little twist that might catch you off guard and even make you smile through the shivers. Scorpios don't just survive betrayal. They turn it into a comeback story so epic it could be a blockbuster. Imagine a phoenix, scorched to ashes, only to rise from the flames fiercer, bolder, wings spread wide against a sky of fire. That's a Scorpio after you've crossed them. I've seen this magic unfold in ways that still give me goosebumps. There was this sweet soul I knew, a Scorpio through and through, who got burned bad by a partner who cheated. Heartbroken doesn't even cover it. She was shattered, barely getting through the days. I remember her calling me late one night, voice raw, saying, "I don't know if I'll ever feel whole again." But here's the thing about Scorpios. Pain isn't their end. It's their forge. Over the next year, I watched her transform. She dove into her passions, painting, writing, pouring every ounce of hurt into canvases that spoke louder than words. She started sharing her art online, and soon galleries were calling. That betrayal? It became the spark for a career she never dreamed of. And when she ran into that ex at an exhibition, she wasn't bitter. She was radiant, standing beside her work, a living testament to her strength. He couldn't even meet her eyes. That's the Scorpio way. They take the knife you stuck in their back and carve out a new path, one that leaves you in awe. It's almost funny, in a jaw-dropping kind of way, how they can turn a low point into a high note. I've seen this in so many charts, where Scorpios hit rock bottom, only to build a castle from the rubble. Their connection to Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, isn't just symbolic. It's their blueprint. They don't wallow, they evolve. Another quick story, a Scorpio guy I met at a retreat lost everything in a shady business deal. Instead of giving up, he used that betrayal as fuel, learning every legal loophole, every trick in the book, and came back with a venture that outdid his old one tenfold. When I asked him how he did it, he just smirked and said, "Getting burned taught me how to play with fire." That's the surprise of it all. They don't just recover, they reinvent themselves, turning your betrayal into their victory lap. It's like watching a movie where the hero gets knocked down only to stand up in the final scene, stronger, sharper, with a grin that says, "You thought you broke me? Watch this." So, while you might think crossing them gives you the upper hand, think again. They'll turn your mistake into their masterpiece, leaving you wondering how they pulled off such a stunning plot twist. So let's wrap this up with a hard truth. Betraying a Scorpio isn't just a misstep. It's a regret you'll carry for life. Their memory holds every detail of your wrong like a photograph that never fades. Their revenge, a silent, elegant strike that cuts deeper than any shout. Their passion, once lost, leaves a void no one else can fill. And their comeback? A phoenix rising, turning your betrayal into their triumph. I've seen too many hearts ache over underestimating a Scorpio. Too many stories of folks wishing they could turn back time. So take this as your warning. Don't cross them unless you're ready to face a storm that doesn't just pass, but reshapes your world. If you've got a Scorpio in your life, or if you felt their sting, I'd love to hear your story. Drop it below. Let's swap tales of that unforgettable intensity. And if you want more insights into the stars, more secrets like these, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Your support keeps me digging into the cosmos for you. Let's keep this conversation alive. I can't wait to read what you've got to say.